everyone, welcome to Anu's classroom. So I hope you guys have got an overview of what are the things involved in a project related to MBA, right, from IGNOU. So if you have not yet, please watch our previous videos in the MMPP 1 playlist, wherein I have given, to the best of my knowledge, all the knowledge I have gained about the IGNOU's project related process. So I thought maybe it would be a better idea to not just give you a theory, but also give you a hands-on of how exactly everything gets done, right? So I thought we will make a simple hands-on video on projects. So whatever we have explained so far, with as a, what you can say, I have explained to you in theory form. I thought maybe we will get it done as a practice. Okay, so this is something which is being done out of my own knowledge. It is not related. It is not affiliated to IGNOU in any sort of in any official way. Let me tell you that this is just I'm sharing my knowledge with you guys. So let us say that we have a topic called the effectiveness of internet advertising on consumer behavior in the case of Anu's classroom subscribers. So this is our sample topic. So we are going to do a project from scratch, that is selection of topic till report creation. Okay, so I hope you guys will get a better idea on this particular thing, how from selection of a topic till report creation, how it goes. So this is going to be our topic for the entire hands-on series. Okay, so what would be our objectives? We have to decide on our objectives, correct? So our objectives will be to determine the effectiveness of internet advertising on reach as well as creation of awareness, establishing the reliability of internet advertising through recall, and determine a relationship between internet advertising and purchase decision. And all these objectives are in relation to Anu's classroom subscribers, that is you. Okay, people like you. So once we have selected our topic and determined our objectives, the second step or the next step is to determine how many samples we will have to collect. All these things are required for our synopsis creation, correct? So in order to determine the sample size, we have two formulas. We have the sample size selection equation for a known population as well as an unknown population. So even if we know the population, what we generally do is we will apply the sample size for unknown population first, and then we will take that sample size and put it in the equation for known population. That is how we do it. Okay, so these are the formulas with which we do it. I will, in the next coming slides, I will explain to you the entire calculation, what all values are to be substituted and everything. Okay, so not to worry over there. Or else you can also go and as I had suggested in earlier videos, you can always go online and apply or make use of any of the online sample size calculators. Many are available. Okay, so how do we calculate our sample size in this case? So the first, what we have to do is we'll have to calculate sample size based upon an unknown population. Okay, so in this case, population is all of you. I do not know how many of you are watching this video or how many will watch this video, right? It will keep on changing, correct? So population in this case is all of you. It is infinite. Margin of error, I am assuming, or we are keeping it as 5%. You can keep it as 3%, 2%, anything. Generally, we either keep it as 3% or 5%. 5% is good enough. The more smaller your margin of error, that big your sample size will be. But don't keep a big margin of error, which means why? Because a bigger margin of error means less reliability of your research findings. Okay, so either keep it as 3% or keep it as 5%, unless suggested by your guide. Okay, so this is something I am assuming or it is being done from my knowledge. There is no IGNOU guide as per se involved in this particular sample hands-on project created, right? So I am guiding you on how we do this project. That's it. So unless if your guide says no, you can't take 5% margin of error, you have to take 3% or say 2%, then you do it accordingly. Or if your guide agrees to take a 7% or 10% margin of error, well and fine for me, no issues. But standard is 5%. After all, everything that you do for your project should be according to the guidance given to you by your guide, right? Your counselor. Now, confidence level also, I had suggested earlier in the previous videos where we discussed about how we have to set the sample size. Generally, we take a 90, 95 or 99% confidence levels. You can take 95 or 90, that is fine. 99 again your sample size will be larger if you take 99%, right? So in this sample hands-on, I am keeping my confidence level as 90%. If your guide agrees, you can also keep 90%, or maybe you can keep 95%. 95% is a good amount. Okay, so here I am keeping 90% confidence level. So for 90% confidence level, we have to find out a z-score. So for 90%, the z-score is 1.645. In the earlier video wherein we discussed in depth about how we create sample sizes, I had given the confidence z-scores for samples confidence levels 90, 95 and 99. So you can directly pick up that z-score and use it, unless you are opting for a different confidence level, right? So in that case, you'll have to calculate your z-score. How to calculate your z-score, we had already studied in our first semester. So confidence level of 90% I am taking. So z-score is 1.645. Variance, if variance, we can keep it as 0.5. Okay. So in that case, our sample size will be Z indicates z-score. Okay. P indicates your variance and E is your margin of error. So substituting all these values, we will get what? We will get finally 271. What you can see over here on your screen is the detailed calculation of how it came to be. P is your variance, E is your margin of error. Okay. So that is that. So once we have our sample size for a unknown population, that is 271 samples. So if I do not know my samples population size, in order to get a result of 90% confidence level and 5% margin of error, I will have to collect data from 271 people, or 270 rounded off. That is what it means. Now, say I know the population. So at the time of making this video, my subscriber count is around 4,500 people, rough estimate. So let us assume that our sample population size is 4,500. With the same margin of error, confidence level and variance, my new sample size is given by this formula. My earlier sample size, that is 271 divided by 1 plus sample size minus 1 divided by population. So in that case, substituting all the values, my sample size, the new sample size reduces to 256. From 271, it reduced to 256. So assuming, or let us say as of now, since my population size is only 4,500 people, in order to get 90% confidence level results, I will have to collect sample from at least 256 people. Okay, so this population is actually very less, right? 4,500. I hope it will get increased more and more in the coming years. In order to do that, if you haven't subscribed yet, kindly subscribe. Okay, so now with all these data, we have our objectives, we have our topic, we have our sample size, we have calculated all these. We can start preparing our synopsis, correct? So all the details that has to be included in the synopsis, I had mentioned earlier in the video, detailing how we have to prepare our synopsis, how we have to fill our pro forma and all those things. So it is a matter of simple typing. Okay, so I'm not giving, I'm not spending too much time on actually collecting literature, introduction and all those things. That according to your topic, you can do that. It is since it is just a filling up, I'm not doing it. But the crucial details that has to be included in the synopsis is definitely your topic, the objectives and their sample size, all those things I have covered so far. So assuming that we have created our synopsis and we have got it approved, we applied to IGNOU and we got it approved. Now the next step is how we have to start our research. That is the important part here, correct? So how will we start our research? For that, we will have to design our questionnaire. That is our first step. So how we can design our questionnaire, that we will look at right now. So our demographics, we need to know. What is our demographics for our topic? Our topic relates to Anu's classroom subscribers, correct? So our demographics is YouTube viewers from around the globe who are tuning into Anu's classroom. So since there are multiple people from multiple various languages, and the one language that is commonly understood by all our viewers is English. That is why I am also giving you classes in English. Otherwise, my primary language is Malayalam. I am more I am more comfortable in teaching also in Malayalam. But the reason why I am not doing that is because I do not want to limit to just Malayalis, right? If it helps people from around India, that is much more better, or that is much more gives me much more happiness. That is why I am taking classes in English. A lot of people ask me whether you can take your classes in Hindi, then you will get more subscribers. But the reason why I'm not doing that is simply because my primary language is Malayalam, secondary is English. Hindi I know, I understand, but I am not that confident in explaining anything in Hindi. So the common language that we all share is English. So let us also keep our language as questionnaire language also as English. Now, since everyone interacts with Anu's classroom using online tools and the internet, the best way to distribute this questionnaire to you guys will also be something which is accessible to you via a link or something, right? Over the internet. So I went ahead and I searched. There are a lot of platforms which help us making questionnaires, like we have Google Form, Jot Form, lot of things. And I realized that the best possible or the easiest easily accessible thing for all of us is going to be Google Forms, and it has adequate resources also for my what you can say my use. Like whatever questions I will have to ask you, all those things can be asked via Google Forms quite comfortably. So I have chosen Google Forms as the means of distributing my questionnaire and collecting answers. Okay, so next part is how I can actually do analysis. So again, Google Forms has the ability to link all the responses I get into Google Sheets. So again, in Google Sheet is quite powerful, almost similar to Excel itself, which has a lot of features for cleaning, prepping and all. So I will be primarily using Google Sheets for doing the analysis, and whatever I am not able to do via Google Sheets, I will at that point of time find what other software can be used. There are many, right? We have Excel also in in my laptop. I have Excel, so maybe if it is not happening via Google Sheet and Excel has the feature, then I will download the data into Excel and maybe I will do my analysis over there. Okay, so these are tools. Why I am sticking to MS Excel or Google Sheet is because these are accessible to all of us. Otherwise, there are a lot of other softwares like SPS is there, and a lot of other softwares are there. We can even go for Python coding if you know it. But the simple reason is that not all of us are familiar with all of these things, and many of the softwares are not free. Maybe at max you will get a 1 month trial. That also, by the time you start, what you can say, by the time you invest your time into learning that software, the trial period will be over. And we are all here doing IGNOU MBA. The primary reason being we have other stuff to do, because of which we can't dedicate our time for a normal MBA via college, right? So doing project by ourselves itself is a headache. Now on top of that, if I have to learn new softwares which I might not even use in the future, is not a good investment of our time, correct? So let us stick to doing our analysis by Google Sheets or MS Excel at max, right? So that is our demographics. So now I went ahead and I have created a questionnaire for you. Creating a questionnaire via Google Forms is a very simple, straightforward process. I hope you guys are aware of it. In case you are not aware of it, just let me know in the comments and I will try to create a video on how I created this questionnaire. Okay, so now it is your turn. I would request all of you to scan this QR code that you're seeing on your screen and proceed to the questionnaire and mark your answers, so that we can all start our data analysis and get going with our report, right? Actually doing the analysis and then creating our report, and so that we can go for submission, right? So next session will only be out if I can get enough responses that cross our sample size. So hurry, if you want to have a next part on how we actually do the data analysis on real data, better hurry, share this video with your friends also, get them also to fill up. Okay, so once we have data that crosses our sample size, I'll definitely make a part 2 of this, wherein we will be using the data that we have collected in order to do this analysis. On using Google Sheet or MS Excel, I'll show you how we will clean our data, filter it, and use the data in order to analyze and make inferences on each of the objectives that we mentioned earlier. Okay, so far, if you have got any questions, or if you do not know how we can make a questionnaire like the one I have created via Google Sheets, or anything of that matter related to your project work, do let me know in the comment section below. I have covered a lot of question answers in the previous videos wherein I discussed each and every topic. Just first, I would suggest you guys go and see those videos. In case those are still not answering your questions, definitely comment below. I will definitely try to help you out to the maximum of my ability. So thank you so much for watching Anu's classroom, tuning into whatever I have to say. If you want to have the MMPP 1 official guideline, definitely I have pasted the QR code over there. You can scan that QR code and it will take you to that particular PDF, which has been published by IGNOU itself, which will have all the details related to how you have to prepare your synopsis, what are the type of topics that you can select, how to select your guide, how to fill the pro forma, everything is there. And if you want, I have also explained. So whatever is in MMPP 1, I have explained to you in the previous sessions, uh, but this is the official document. Okay, so hurry up, don't forget to fill the sample questionnaire so that I can um, put out the second video as soon as possible. Okay, this is the QR code if you want to mark your responses in the questionnaire. Okay,